Let's talk, Jeremy Peters, about your article this weekend talking about the Koch brothers and the Democratic strategy. A very long article about that this weekend. You have a question for Chuck Schumer?
I do, Senator. Good morning.
Hi, Jeremy.
You guys have been hitting on this very hard,
yes.
On the Senate floor, in ads in key states that could determine who controls the Senate next year. But I wonder what specific evidence you're seeing that average voters hear the words Koch brothers and recoil. Because if you talk to Republicans, they say, look, we tried this with George Soros. It didn't work. It's impossible to turn these guys into polarizing political figures that, in a way that actually clicks with swing voters. So tell us how you're seeing that specifically on the ground in these states.
Yeah, well, first of all, the fact that 48% of Americans know who the Koch brothers are in May, or in April, it's April, it feels like May, that'll mean about 90% of them will know it in October, and that's going to be something. Second, what we're doing is we're showing that these ads that the Koch brothers are largely responsible for, we're showing who's behind them. People who are cutting jobs in Alaska, North Carolina, people who put this giant peat thing, I forgot what it's called, in the Detroit River in Michigan that polluted a whole lot of the area. And so it's different than George Soros. First, the Koch brothers are doing far more with ads that people recognize, and second, there are real issues, just not ideological issues, but specific issues in the state about them, and I think it's going to make a difference. It's going to undo the sting of a lot of these ads. We're already finding that in the polling in a few of the states.
Okay, I see. You look at the poll numbers, 52% have never even heard of the guy.
But wait till, I think the fact that 48% or 40% have heard of them already.
Shouldn't you be focusing more on your positive program?
Yes, well, we should do.
Then you should be on trying to vilify the Koch brothers, like you guys tried to vilify Mitt Romney and said he was responsible for a guy's wife dying.
Yeah, well, let me say this. Okay, let me just say this. The Koch brothers aren't just sitting there innocently on the side. They're spending $40–50 million in ads that are not focused on their real agenda, which is just eliminating all regulation on corporations, cutting taxes to virtually nothing, and so their demands a response. So I don't feel sorry for them. I don't feel their First Amendment rights are being hurt or anything like that. They're the ones running these ads almost single-handedly. They've done a lot of bad things in this state. I think it's a legit, if it's our only strategy, we'll lose. We must have a positive agenda. Right. That's what our fair shot agenda is. But we also have to have a shield that protects us from these ads, and I think the Koch brother thing will work.
Jeremy